Welcome to Hammerhead Hobbies. In this episode, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing this MiG-15 UTI by KP Models. Alright, welcome back. This is a MiG-15 UTI by KP Models. It is in 1:72 scale. The model number is 13, and this particular model was made in 1979. Starting off with the instructions, what I have here is, so you see model number is 13, MiG-15, and it's just, looks like it's just one big piece of paper, and we'll flip it over. First thing we see is the sprue numbering guide, which I love to see, because that way I can see where the part is on the sprue, rather than just looking through the sprues to find the part. And below we have the assembly instructions. Okay, now that is all the assembly instructions there are. So you can see there's 3 diagrams and an alignment diagram, and very basic placement instructions. So you got to be really careful. Dry fit everything prior to installing it. Make sure it fits properly. And again, these are very basic instructions on placement. And there doesn't look like there's any color detail on what colors the part should be. So that's something you might have to, do a little bit of research on the internet and find it. And again, over here it tells you need 4 grams of weight. Flipping it over, we have the paint and decal guide. So up here is your paints, and over here you have your 3 squadrons. So you have Polish, North Vietnamese, and your Czech Republic. And that's about it. This is all the instructions they give you with this model. Alright, moving on to the decal sheet here. This is the decal sheet. Again, very basic, so it just gives you basically your rondelles and a couple numbers, and that is about it. But this decal sheet looks like it's an amazing shape. It almost looks like somebody purchased a new decal sheet because the old one was bad. But this, for the age of the model, it doesn't match the decal sheet. Usually these would be all yellowed and maybe even starting to silver, but this looks pretty good. The color is vibrant. The lines are sharp on this one. Like I said, it might be a new one. I'm not sure. There's no cracks or anything. It looks like they're pliable. Very nice, very nice. Again, you have your Polish, Czech Republic, and North Vietnamese. Good looking decals, but very basic, not a lot of them. Moving on to the sprues, I always like to start off with the fuselage area if I can. So this is the fuselage area, and you can just see it's got amazing detail on the outside here. Lots of rivets, and these are all raised rivets and panel lines, but they do give you a lot, even around the wing. I'm not sure if you can catch that. There's a rivet pattern that goes around, so that's very realistic. Okay, very nice. Going over to the interior, there is no detail on the interior. Now these pieces are loose. They came that way when I got the model, so somebody must have just been maneuvering it a lot. But I always like to check the fit on this, and the fit, does look pretty good for not even prepping it. So you can see that there's barely a ridge on it. There's no gaps. When I go towards the back, again, this is no prep work whatsoever. Very nice. Moving on to the sprue, looks like the landing gear is on here, and the seats. Now the landing gear, it's a basic design, not too bad. There's a little bit of flash on it. You'll have to sand or file down. The wheels look pretty good. Basic hub design, and there is a very good radial tread pattern on that, so not too bad. The front wheel is one piece. Again, it's stronger that way, but it's a lot more difficult to paint. Moving on to the seats. There's great shape on the seats. I love the shape that they put on them. There's even some lines inside the seat to simulate cushions. So very nice seat pattern on there. These are the wheel skirts, and they give you the two different options. So if you were to have this with the gear up, you just leave it like that, and there is some rivet pattern and lines on it. And if you were to have it with the landing gear down, you would have to cut these so they would fit onto the landing gear. Instrument panels are right here. They are very nice. They give you some nice details. There's raised instruments on there. They are nice and crisp, right? They're very usable, so very nice instrument panels there. Moving on to the sprue with, looks like just the drop tanks here. Very nice. It's got some lines going through there, so pretty good. The fins are a little thick on it, but what are you going to do? That's what it is. But not too bad. There's some flash on it that's going to have to get cleaned up. Over in this corner here, there's quite a bit of flash. You know, these look like the little antennae that go on the bottom of the wings. And those two things, I think they're rudder pedals you're supposed to put on. But there's some, you know, heavy flash on there that's going to have to be cleaned up and taken care of. This looks like the front wheel well panels, and there's zero detail on that, just flat pieces. This is the front nose cone. Looks pretty good. There's some good depth to it. It's almost like half an inch of depth to that. Looks very nice. I don't know what this piece is. These are actual joysticks that go inside. They're horrible. Just a little piece of plastic with flash on it, so it's going to be hard to clean up. And this final piece, I think, was supposed to be the exhaust tip. On the instructions, they show it more cylindrical and deeper, but that can easily be fixed with a piece of straw. I usually use a piece of straw to give some depth to my exhaust, so you know that can easily be fixed. But you know, there's a little bit of flash on this sprue here. Okay, I'm going to move on to some loose pieces here in the box. This is the wings over here. We'll just do the one wing for now and see how that goes. So this is, you know, the wing, that's the inside. Again, same beautiful rivets on here. Lots of rivets, little access hatches you can see in there. Okay, and again, if I flip it over, this is, looks like it's the inside of the wheel well. So they do give you some sort of detail in there. And if I was to put these two together, you know, the placement pips are not bad, a little worn, but they fit together very nicely. The wheel well looks good, a little shallow, but not too bad. Okay, so very little filling and sanding required for this. This looks like the cockpit area here where the seats would go into, and you know, there's great detail actually right on the side panels here. Usually you don't get that. Usually just be a flat piece here, but you know, they do give you some, looks like switches, little, you know, they're hard to see from here, but you know, they're either squares or circles on there, so they give you some sort of simulation of a detailed interior. There is some great detail on the canopy. So if you look, you know, on the top ridge there is rivets going all around the window supports. Okay, I mean, it's not very clear. It looks like there's a lot of imperfections in the glass. So if I were to hold it up to this decal sheet here, right, I mean, you can see there is a lot of waviness to it, and there is imperfections in it. Okay, so you know, you give you such a nice interior. It's a shame sometimes they give you a canopy that's not as clear as it should be to show off that really nice interior. So this is the MiG-15 UTI by KP Models. Again, 1:72 scale, and this is from 1979. So stick around for my pros and cons list and a quick summary of what I think of this model. Now for the pros and cons. Pros. Decals have great color and are in great condition. There's excellent exterior detail. There's good interior detail. And it seems like the kit has good fit. Cons. Instructions are very basic and have no interior colors. They only give you a few decals. And the canopy is wavy with imperfections. Overall, this would be a great model for beginners and a quick build for the more experienced. And this could be challenging to make a basic kit look amazing. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope you enjoy your build.